A sculpted, powerful posterior is more than just an aesthetic ideal. It's a cornerstone of physical prowess and overall well-being. Whether you're an athlete striving for peak performance, someone seeking relief from persistent back before we delve into common pitfalls, if you find this information it's valuable, please take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more expert guidance and comment below with your biggest challenge in building a stronger lower body. Your support fuels our mission to bring you the best evidence-based strategies in hip discomfort, or simply aiming to enhance your physique and confidence. Strong, well-developed glutes are indispensable. Its main functions include hip abduction, stabilizing the pelvis during walking and running. Yet for many, the journey to achieving this remains frustratingly elusive. Often due to fundamental misunderstandings in their training approach, a compelling 2020 study utilizing advanced MRI scans compared the gluteal muscle development in elite sprinters, sub-elite sprinters, and average untrained individuals. Elite sprinters, on average, boasted a gluteus maximus that was a staggering 45% larger than that of their sub-elite counterparts. Let's uncover the 5 critical mistakes that might be holding you back. Given that this muscle constitutes the majority of your posterior mass and is unequivocally crucial for powerful athletic movements, it logically follows that dedicating your primary training focus to its development is the most efficient path to achieving both aesthetic and performance goals. The MRI scans clearly revealed the sheer dominance of the gluteus maximus. Compared to the smaller medius and minimus, many mistakenly refer to the glutes as a single entity, unaware that this powerful region is comprised of 3 distinct muscles, each playing a vital role. If you're eager to unlock the true potential of your lower body, paying close attention to the insights that follow could revolutionize your routine. This is the primary driver of hip extension and is responsible for the overall shape and projection of the buttocks. It's not just the largest muscle in the gluteal group, but actually the largest and heaviest muscle in the entire human body, a testament to its immense power potential. Understanding the engine, the anatomy of the posterior chain, to effectively sculpt and strengthen your glutes. A foundational understanding of their anatomy is paramount. Gluteus maximus, the largest and most superficial of the gluteal muscles. Gluteus medius, located beneath the gluteus maximus on the outer part of the hip. Gluteus minimus, the deepest and smallest of the 3 gluteal muscles, lying beneath the gluteus medius. It assists the medius in hip abduction and stabilization. While all 3 contribute to overall hip function and aesthetics, recent scientific inquiry highlights the disproportionate importance of the gluteus maximus for both performance and visual impact. Remarkably, researchers found that the size of the gluteus maximus was a robust predictor of sprint performance. However, despite this clear physiological directive, many individuals fall short, making common errors that hinder their progress. Mistake 1. Misguided exercise selection. The pursuit of hip extension. The cardinal error in glute development often lies in the choice of exercises. As established, the primary function of the gluteus maximus is hip extension. The powerful movement of driving your hips forward and straightening your hip joint. Yet a vast number of popular glute exercises circulating online either completely neglect hip extension, instead focusing predominantly on hip abduction or external rotation to primarily target the smaller gluteus medius and minimus, important for stability, but not mass, train hip extension inefficiently. While they involve hip extension, they don't allow for progressive overload, the gradual increase of resistance over time, which is fundamental for muscle growth. Exercises that rely heavily on resistance bands or lighter weights often fall into this category when used as primary builders. To truly stimulate the gluteus maximus for maximal growth, your program must heavily feature exercises that emphasize hip extension, enable continuous, progressive overload with heavier loads over time. The fancier trending exercises often pale in comparison to the tried and true foundational movements. The most effective glute-building exercises are back squats, a king among lower body exercises, heavily engaging the gluteus maximus in a deep range of motion. Deadlifts, unparalleled for posterior chain development, requiring immense glute and hamstring power to lift heavy loads. Romanian deadlifts, excellent for targeting the glutes and hamstrings through hip hinge mechanics. Hip thrusts, a direct and powerful glute activator, particularly at the top of the movement. Ledge presses. When performed with proper foot placement, they can be highly effective for glute activation. Bulgarian split squats, a unilateral exercise that offers a deep stretch and significant glute engagement. These exercises are not glamorous, but consistently focusing on proper form and striving for progressive strength gains in them unlock the substantial glute development you desire. Mistake 2. Quad dominance. Reclaiming glute engagement in compound lifts, even with the right exercise selection. Improper execution can shift the emphasis away from your glutes and onto other muscles, most commonly the quadriceps. This often boils down to the subtle interplay of your shin angle and torso lean during leg exercises. Understanding the mechanics. Forward shin angle, greater knee movement, the more your knees travel forward over your toes. Increasing your shin angle, the greater the emphasis shifts to your quadriceps. This is because a more vertical shin keeps the load over the quadriceps. Forward torso lean / greater hip hinge. Conversely, a more pronounced forward lean of your torso, indicative of a greater hip hinge, increases the degree of hip extension required. Since hip extension is the primary function of the gluteus maximus, this naturally shifts the load onto your glutes. In forward shin, others with a more vertical shin and forward lean, you can consciously adjust your form in many exercises to optimize glute activation. While your individual anatomy might predispose you to a more quad-dominant or glute-dominant squat pattern, for example, some naturally squat with a more upright torso practical application. Leg press. To emphasize the glutes, place your feet higher up on the platform. This allows your shins to remain more vertical over your feet throughout the movement, minimizing knee travel. Focus on pressing through your heels and stopping the rep once your knees reach approximately 90 degrees of flexion, where glute engagement is typically maximized. Muscle activation studies have consistently shown significantly greater glute activation with a higher foot stance compared to a lower one, which biases the quads. Crucially, maintain a neutral spine. You're bending at the hip, not rounding your back. This setup encourages your front shin to remain more vertical and increases the demand on hip extension. You will feel this difference almost immediately. Lunges and Bulgarian split squats. Quad focus, more upright torso, and allowing your front shin to travel significantly forward will emphasize the quadriceps. Glute focus, to shift emphasis to the glutes. Take a slightly wider stance and lean your torso slightly forward from the hips. By understanding and applying these subtle form adjustments, you can ensure that your glutes are truly the prime movers in these powerful leg exercises, maximizing their growth potential. Mistake 3. Hamstring lower back takeover. Precision in hip hinges, just as the quads can sometimes dominate. In other glute-focused exercises, the hamstrings and lower back can inadvertently take over. A prime example is the Romanian deadlift, an excellent exercise for both hamstrings and glutes, but one that requires specific attention to maximize glute engagement. The knee bend difference. Hamstring emphasis. If you keep your legs almost completely straight throughout the RDL, you'll predominantly stretch and work your hamstrings. This unlocks the hips, allowing for more effective hip extension and a greater stretch on the glutes. The movement becomes less about stretching the hamstrings and more about driving your hips backward. The point at which your hips stop moving backward and your lower back begins to round is your limit. Going past this point takes tension off the glutes and inappropriately loads your lumbar spine, increasing injury risk and decreasing glute activation. For some, this might mean the bar only reaches around knee level, while others with greater mobility can go lower. Glute emphasis. To truly target the glutes, incorporate a slight bend in your knees and maintain that angle throughout the movement. Mobility and range of motion. Many individuals mistakenly believe they must lower the bar as far as possible in an RDL. However, the optimal range of motion is dictated by your hip mobility. The bar should travel down relatively close to your legs. Once your hips can no longer move back, reverse the motion by squeezing your glutes to drive your hips forward. It should only go down as far as your hips can travel backward without your lower back rounding. Identifying the limit. Observe yourself in a mirror or record your form. Focus on the hips. The key is to initiate the movement by pushing your hips straight back, keeping your chest up and a slight bend in your knees. Mastering these nuances in the RDL ensures that you're effectively targeting the gluteus maximus, preventing your hamstrings or lower back from unfairly monopolizing the effort. Mistake for neglecting full range of contraction. The stretch versus squeeze. Dynamic even with the correct exercises and flawless form. Optimizing glute development requires understanding how different exercises challenge the muscle across its full range of motion. Muscles typically experience resistance in two primary phases: when they are fully stretched and when they are fully shortened. Stretch-mediated hypertrophy. Many powerful glute exercises, like Bulgarian split squats, back squats, leg presses, and Romanian deadlifts, primarily challenge the glutes most intensely at the bottom position, when the muscle is in a fully stretched state. This complementary approach can stimulate different regions of the muscle and potentially lead to more comprehensive hypertrophy. While research strongly indicates that challenging a muscle in its stretched position is highly effective for growth, solely relying on these exercises might leave potential gains on the table. At the top of these movements, tension on the glutes often diminishes, shortened position emphasis, to achieve more complete and well-rounded glute development. It's beneficial to include exercises that provide maximal resistance when the glutes are in a fully shortened or squeezed position, typically at the top of the movement. Integrating both types of exercises that excel at challenging the glutes in their shortened position, include hip thrusts. The resistance is highest at the peak contraction, when your hips are fully extended and glutes are squeezed. There's minimal resistance at the bottom. 45-degree hip extensions, when performed with a focus on glute contraction. These also provide peak resistance at the top, allowing for a strong glute squeeze. Programmatic application. For an optimally structured glute-focused workout, I recommend selecting 1 to 2 exercises that challenge the glutes most intensely in their stretched position. One exercise that challenges the glutes most effectively in their shortened, squeezed position. This balanced approach ensures that your glutes are stimulated across their entire functional range. It's promoting more complete and robust growth in all regions of the muscle. Mistake 5. The mind-muscle connection, awakening dormant glutes, even with perfect exercise selection and execution. Some individuals, particularly those who lead sedentary lifestyles or spend many hours sitting, struggle with effectively feeling their glutes working. This phenomenon, often termed gluteal amnesia, or simply a weak mind-muscle connection, means other muscles compensate, robbing your glutes of their intended stimulus. The power of activation exercises. The solution lies in incorporating glute activation exercises as part of your warm-up, or even as a brief daily routine. Participants who performed glute activation exercises twice daily for a week demonstrated a remarkable 50% increase in glute activation during bodyweight squats compared to their baseline. This highlights the nervous system's ability to learn how to better recruit a muscle. These are simple, low-load movements designed to specifically force the target glute muscles to engage, essentially waking them up and priming your nervous system to effectively recruit them during your heavier main lifts. Scientific support. A 2022 study provided compelling evidence for this method. Recommended activation drills. While a dedicated video covers a comprehensive routine, some effective activation exercises include glute bridges, lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, lift your hips off the ground by squeezing your glutes, clamshells, lying on your side, knees bent, lift your top knee while keeping your feet together. You'll not only start to feel your glutes working more intensely, but also begin to see the aesthetic changes you've been striving for. But remember, this science-based, systematic approach should extend to all muscle groups you train to truly maximize your overall physique and performance. And engage your glutes, ensuring they are truly doing the work during your heavy lifts. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for future content. We'll see you next time. Take our analysis quiz to discover which of our step-by-step programs is perfectly tailored to your specific body type, current fitness level, and unique goals. Or if you suspect you're making mistakes in your shoulder training, click here for an expert breakdown. Donkey kicks. On all fours, kick one leg straight back and up, squeezing the glute. Banded walks. using a resistance band around your ankles or knees. Walk sideways or diagonally to engage the glute medius and minimus. Performing a few sets of these activation exercises before your main glute building workout can significantly improve your ability to feel your path to a powerful posterior. Integrating it all, implementing these 5 crucial strategies, will rapidly transform your glute development. For a comprehensive all-in-one program that meticulously optimizes your weekly workouts and provides a structured plan for all muscle groups, head over to builtwithscience.com. Continue your journey with more insights. If you need a deeper dive into awakening your glutes, find our dedicated video linked here. Thank you for watching and for your continued support.